Your campaign manager alluded to the possibility that you've talked about or considered naming a running mate in an attempt to demonstrate unity. Have you had conversations about naming a running mate at this stage in the race?
I think every campaign always talks about that. So far, nobody's done it, I think, in history. It always starts out and it sounds good, and then you decide
Ted
not
Cruz
to.
tried it in 2016 with
I guess
Carly
he did.
Fiorina.
I think that is fair. That is fair. Other than that,
who have you talked to about this possibility?
Why would I tell you? I know you
because
want.
I'm asking.
I know why you want to know.
Would you consider Kamala Harris, for example?
I would consider everybody. Kamala's, I don't know her all that well, but the little bit I've talked to her and watched her, she's a very competent woman and done a good job in California. Not everybody agrees with that. She has had a tough on crime kind of reputation, but I haven't looked at her resume all that carefully because it's too early to do that.
Stacey Abrams?
She's very competent. I'm I may be her biggest supporter, funder. I'm certainly one of for her whole initiative to get out the vote, register people.
You dismissed your debate performance. The first one was widely panned, second one less so, as saying, this is something that, these guys have had a lot of practice doing. Aren't Democratic voters looking for someone who can really stand up to Donald Trump on the debate stage?
No, they're looking for somebody who can run the country and somebody that can beat Donald Trump. And the debate is just one thing. We're not looking for a debater in chief. Just because you're a good college debater doesn't mean you can run the country. This is insanity. And what I found so difficult in the first debate was I got out there and they're all yelling at each other and nobody's listening to each other and they're talking over each other. And then the second debate, Sanders and Warren gave the same answer to every single question, no matter what the question was. They said the same thing. Why does that help the public make a decision as to who's going to beat Donald Trump and who is going to be able to run the country? Do you really want a debater or do you want a manager who's been there and done that? I think you'd be hard-pressed to find very many people who lived in New York City during my 12 years in office who wouldn't tell you it was the best job any mayor has ever done. New York was so much better during those 12 years than any other period in history. I'll rest on my laurels of I know how to do the job. I've been training to be president since, let's say, 9/11. When I took office. You could argue even before then because I was a manager in the private sector. But I know how to do the job. And in terms of beating Donald Trump, I've beaten him on coal, I've beaten him on guns, I've beaten him on a whole bunch of these things. And I know how to go head to head with Donald Trump. We both come from New York City. I think I'm tougher than him and a lot not more knowledgeable. He's a real estate promoter. Nothing wrong with that, but he's never managed anything, and it shows, and it's dangerous.
You've said you're going to release the 3 women from non-disclosure agreements.
Whether they want to say anything, I have no idea.
Do you regret anything about what you did with those women?
Well, I shouldn't have said. All they've alleged is that I said things that left them uncomfortable.
And do you regret that?
Yeah, I wish I hadn't said it. Thank you very much. But everybody, I wish there's a lot of little things I've done in life that I wish I hadn't done. I'm sorry I did it. I apologized. And, also, I think that the Me Too movement has exposed a lot of things that we've been doing for a long time. Nobody focused on it. And then now we do. And I think they provided a real service to this country. And hopefully we will all change and not go back to when people stop focusing on this.
Do you think they will speak out? The women that you've released?
I have absolutely no idea.
Do you hope that they will?
It's totally up to them. They, there is the only thing they allege. They never alleged I did anything in touching or anything else. It was just that I said some things that left them uncomfortable, and I just don't know.
All right. If you're elected, do you commit to only serving 2 terms as president of the United States?
I will not try to change the Constitution. That's correct, yes. But keep in mind, it was my city council that did it. I just signed the bill.
Okay. Mayor Mike Bloomberg, thank you very much for your time,
You're
sir.
welcome.
I really appreciate it.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.